Good afternoon. My name is Maddie, and I am an undergraduate student in the Principles of Ecology at Northern Michigan University in the Department of Biology. For my research project this semester, I investigated the variation of relative abundance among all rats and mice, raccoons, and opossums, with a subset of Snapshot USA data so that I could learn more about the different wildlife species interactions with one another across the United States. I selected these three species for my project because they're commonly known as pests in urban areas, and I wanted to know why they are considered pests in those areas, and I wanted to see how much they show up in an urban area compared to, say, a forest area where you would commonly see them, and why they might be in an urban area. It might be, I don't know. I wanted to know. So we're gonna look. To achieve my goal, I used a subset of Snapshot USA uh, camera trap data, which allowed me to calculate the relative abundance of my three species to examine the difference in relationship abundance among urban percentage. For my data analysis, I calculated the number of detections per 100 trap nights for each species at Snapshot USA sites in Eastern North America. The collected data for the Snapshot project. Then I used a t-test to determine whether my target, which was urban percentage, experienced a change between each area. I had picked Northeastern America because of big cities in the area, and there was a high amount of urban percentage in that area. I found that the relative abundance didn't differ depending on if there was no urban percentage to being a lot urban percentage. On my map, you can see the different densities compared, the darker green being very dense forest area to a dark orange where being it is mo heavily populated and there's a lot of urban area in that vicinity. Based on my results, my hypothesis was not supported. One potential reasoning is as there's a lot of people, it could have scared away a lot of the animals around the trail cams. It could have been a seasonal change. There could have been something going on where there was glares and there wasn't enough recorded data, or my camera traps were too spread out and it caused a calculation to not support my hypothesis. To learn more about the ecology of my species and future research, I would draw more attention to the future research needed to examine the ecological variations of habitat quality, resource, or season change that may influence a species abundance more strongly than an urban percentage. For a management point of view, understanding the urban data set that can refine conservation strategies and attention to make a more meaningful impact for these species. However, in closing, I would like to thank Snapshot USA collaborative team for granting me access to this incredible data set, as well as my TA, Sophie, for helping me bring my project to completion. And thank you for your time.